pretty gobsmacked about how cool it looks. What's up, guys? Jordan from Bennett's Customs, and we are back on another episode. This one gonna be a little bit different. I wanted to do something real creative for the workshop itself. Behind me, we have an opal piece of Perspex. It is 2.4 meters long by 1250 tall, but you guys might faintly be able to see something in this little area here. This is 20 by 100 mil, 1.6, just rectangle aluminum. It's got a little rib in the center of it. And what I wanna do is I wanna create a really cool light up sign that can be bolted up on the shop wall. Follow along for a little bit of creativity, and hopefully this will spark a little bit of fire to go out into the workshop and create something. Let's get into it. All right, so what you see here on the fab table that I was able to create is just a little jig. So this is just gonna help me weld up my four corners to make sure that we are gonna, have everything square. I am mitering these as well, so they are all cut at a 45-degree angle. I've already pre-cleaned them, which is a bit of a bonus. And what I would like to do is get them in here. We're gonna run this up until they meet. And then where they meet, we will just put a clamp down on here, and then we are going to weld this. With the welder itself, we are using the SWS welder. You guys have seen me use it. It is from over east in Australia, an excellent welder. Travis, the gentleman who runs it, is a really nice guy, super nice to deal with, and you kind of almost are on like a personal level when you're buying stuff. So the customer service is always spot on, and I'm not getting no tips or tricks with that one. It's just purely love to support good homies. So shout out to you, Travis, and SWS Welding. I will make sure I put their link in the description below. But pretty simple. We are using a 2.4 tungsten. And we will be using 2.4 filler rod as well. One guy on here. Just trying to make a little hand rest for when I'm welding as well. So that'll be good there. Okay. Okay, so what I'm doing here with our corners, just to dress them. Obviously we don't want the weld there, so I'm just using a flat flap disc. So I got a new one. It's a 120 grit, doesn't need to be crazy. Using a little bit of wax. And obviously because these run clockwise, I am running this side, I'm left-handed, I'm running it off the edge. So I'm not coming in on this side where I'm actually traveling and trying to cut the weld towards the material. I'm trying to come off the material in order to dress that weld. I'll be spinning so it's coming off the edge. That way we can just go real light. You don't have to dig hard by any means. You just go nice and slow, consistent on both sides, keeping the grinder consistent and flat, and you will be able to eliminate that weld without taking off too much material on the edge.
Woke up in the middle of the night, opened my eyes and my oh my, dreaming you. Well, oh my dream. when I lay me down to sleep, not dreaming you. Don't give me no fuss, don't give me no fight. It's only one thing in the middle of
And very easily, we have eliminated the weld. It's got a real consistent flat surface with just a nice little rolled edge. Again, a big tip when you're using the DA, make sure you keep everything flat. Roll over it flat, come back flat. If you have a joint where it's welded here and you're trying to do the 3 sides, utilize it. So you're gonna go like this, like this, like that, and that will create a nice corner. So now that we have the initial frame set up, and everything's finished off, we've kind of radiused our edges, it's all clean, ready to go, and now it's square from corner to corner, which is great. But I have some 25 by 25 by 1.6 mil angle, and this angle is going to be riveted in down on the edge like so that we have something for the picture to then sit against. Do a setback for this, so I think I said we'll do it at 40 mil. Run a scribe.
you can tell your mama and your daddy too, your brother and your sisters and your best friend too. I'm dreaming of you. Well, all my dreams are sweet when I lay me down to sleep. I'm dreaming of you. Well, all my dreams are sweet when I lay me down to sleep. Not dream of you.
Biggest thing we need to do now, we need to make some mounting points. So what I'm going to do is, I got these little pieces I just created. I'm going to try and tack them in flush, and then once they're done and welded and flushed out, I'll drill a hole with a keyhole, and then we can just drill 2 holes into the wall, and then we can set this over and it'll sit in the keyhole. That tab on there's not a big deal. All right, so I wasn't too happy with just relying on the actual picture to be glued in for keeping everything rigid, and I have a crazy idea. So this is sort of a very similar primer to what they would have used in the early aircraft stuff, or still do. But the biggest thing about what I want to do here is I need some supports, because if you guys have been following along on the channel, you've probably seen that really cool fuel tank that I had created, and I've just been inspired by it. I keep looking over at it, and I just really love all the character that it has and what it looks like. So I'm gonna weld these in. So I've just divided this by thirds. I'm just gonna weld these supports in, and then I'm gonna stand it up and I'm gonna explain what I'm thinking, and hopefully it's gonna look cool. Sometimes, you know, simple is better, and I completely agree. And at this point, maybe it would be a good idea if I just kept it real simple, painted this black, we glued the frame in, and, you know, flick the light on and job done. But I just can't do that. I don't know. I want to do something a little bit more creative and a little bit more engaging for you guys. I was explaining our little tank. So when we built that fuel tank, these are the ends that we have, and these are now surplus because we don't need them. The reason why I've painted this in that wash primer is because I was trying to replicate this a little bit. And if I could make this look a little bit kind of early or aircraft themed, we're gonna use these two ends as lampshades. These lampshades are gonna sit equal distance on our picture frame, and I'm going to bend up a piece of stainless that sits up on a nice little hoop with a mount that sits on the top, and then we'll drill a hole and we'll be able to wire it in. And these are only just gonna hold those like kind of vintage Edison bulbs, I believe they're called. Whether or not it's gonna look good, we won't know until it's all said and done. But the cool thing is we're only gonna bolt these on, so if it doesn't, we can remove them and maybe we can use these for something else. All right, so we got our little garage sale set up. Not sure exactly where we picked this up from, but this thing is a pull-through style like mandrel bender, and it is incredible. It's obviously an old electrical one that someone would have used for conduit and stuff, but watch how smooth this will pull it through. And I'm just gonna do a 90 degree, and then I'll have a look and see what one's we're gonna kind of measure it out a little bit. So we've just hit 90 right there, and there's a little bit of spring back. So now we've hit our 90 degree. We'll pull it out, and you can see not a kink, no distortion at all. It's perfect. These are 1/4 inch MPT fittings. And I don't really want to weld anything to them just in case we change our mind and I actually do want to utilize them for something. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut the ends of these air fittings off that are stainless. We are going to slide them in the end like this. We're going to fuse that all the way around, and then the wires for the bulb will actually come out of here and they'll run up to a plate, and we'll fix the plate to the top of that. We can just screw these on, and if we don't like it, we can cut them off, we can change them, we can put them in any which way that we sort of desire or want to.
Save me, save me, save me. I've got these demons going on inside. Your love is the only way to satisfy. Show me the road where I see the light. Do you believe? Do you believe when I say no medication, no meditation?
let's pull the picture out. And this is going to give us kind of the full idea of where my head's at, and hopefully it kind of makes a bit of sense. Hopefully I don't damage it. Watch out for the beautiful coupe. So, this photo is done by Chris Kiernan of More Speed Shop. And this photo is of Tim Elmer's 34 coupe, heavily chopped, beautifully done. And the thing that I love the most about this is he's racing around in the snow, and they do it a fair bit. It's really cool. I just love how he's got the chains around the old 750 Firestones on the rear, and he's got them, you know, a little rubber, what do you call those things, like straps that are holding it on. It's one of my most favorite photos. I hit up Chris. I said, hey, would you be keen on selling me the file so that I could get it printed over here? And I had my one of my really good mates, Travis. He works at a printing shop and does a lot of sign work, so he actually printed this. And the cool thing is this isn't a film, this isn't a sticker, this is actually direct to print onto the Perspex. So in this area, this is obviously a shinier area, obviously where the sun was shining down on the car, and because it's so bright, there's actually no ink there. It's actually really shiny where the Perspex is. It'll fit in relatively nicely. If you feel creative and you're sick of paying prices for enamel signs because they're atrociously expensive, and I personally will never be able to afford one, well, maybe this is the next best thing. Creating your own, that one day these could be worth a bit of value. Who knows? I need to make a mount for the receiver. This thing is ginormous. This is a LED power supply. So I need to be able to mount that, and I need to mount it almost flush with this so that we don't create or cast a shadow. I'm just gonna drill some holes now. I'm doing like a keyhole style. So if you can imagine, it's got a little circle and then comes up, and so you can slide it over top of your stud, and then it can sit down so it cannot come off the wall. So if we had a massive earthquake, which we probably will never have, then it would obviously, you know, stay where we want it. Hindsight, should have done this before I glued this in, but I kind of forgot. So fingers crossed I don't go through the picture. Woo, because I've done it before.
There's a ghost in the radio that keeps it on repeat. There's a demon in the bottle trying to drag me to my knees, and I can't afford to fall apart every time we meet. Oh, oh, there's a ghost after me. I got vengeance on my mind and anger in my chest. All my skeletons have eyes and they're shaking their fists. Truth is, I'm done telling myself I'm a man without regret. 'Cause there's a ghost in the radio that keeps it on repeat. There's a demon in the bottle trying to drag me to my knees, and I can't afford to fall apart every time we meet. Oh, oh, there's a ghost after me. I got the devil on my tail, and his hounds have caught my scent. And I beg the angel Gabriel for a quick and painless death. Truth is, I'll be running until the good Lord takes me in. 'Cause there's a ghost in the radio that keeps it on repeat. There's a demon in the bottle trying to drag me to my knees, and I can't afford to fall apart every time we meet. Oh, oh, there's a ghost in the radio that keeps it on repeat. There's a demon in the bottle trying to drag me to my knees, and I can't afford to fall apart every time we meet. Oh, there's a ghost after me.
Oh, can you grab a wine out of the cellar down there?
Just gonna go downstairs, get the spanner.
Don't worry, I'll come with you. Whoa! All right. So it's playing? Is that? We ran 2 automotive 24 volt 10 watt globes, and we just wanted to test them inside these lamps. I ran 24 volt because we are running a 24 volt LED strip and driver. Rather than converting it to 240, it's just too much work. You have to run a junction box and earths and all sorts, and I just want to make it very simple. So we have our LED strip all the way around. I'm worried about these. Not sure if they're going to make a shadow or not. If they do, I think I'll remove them. Really, we're at the point now. I've plugged it in, made sure it works. The lights turn on, which is exciting. I've drilled some holes in the wall, and basically Josh and I are going to stick it up on the wall, and we're going to turn off the lights, and we're going to pray that it looks good, and that's going to be the end of this video. Alrighty. Alrighty.
Up on the bench.
Up on the bench. Okay. Ready?
Is visible on the ball.
Yeah, it'll go in like the key slot. I'm in. Oh yeah. Oh, it's level too. Holy cow. It's on the wall. It looks way better on the wall than it does on the ground. Moment of truth, really. We want to see what it's going to look like. We got a plug. I just brought an extension lead over here because we have no fixings along this side of the concrete wall at all. Just kind of, oh.
Turn the lights up.
Oh, I can see them. I can see them. That's okay. Let's turn the lights off. Oh, you guys are going to see it before I do. Oh, you can definitely see, oh wow. How cool. I like how the angle is kind of faded out. It goes like real black where I've obviously glued it in, and then it sort of fades. It gives it like a real neat shadow. It's a very...
It does. Looks like a huge TV.
Yeah. It's almost like, I don't know, it's kind of like real vintage color. Like it's not quite real bold and white. It's got sort of that like hue to it. It's in the snow. It's in my blood. I love the snow. So what more could you ask for? That literally looks so friggin' cool. Like, yeah, I love this stuff. This is the stuff that really fuels me. Building cars is fun. The creative stuff too on the side. Mr. Peanut, this, a couple other things. I really enjoy doing these things. This is kind of the little artistic side that is really fun to make. The whole idea with this is to, you know, I mean, I could never afford an enamel sign, ever. There's only one in the world I want, and it's a double-sided Pegasus mobile oil one. I think that's the only one I'd ever actually justify spending a bit of money on. Other than that, I'll never afford them. I'd rather invest the money into, you know, performance parts for the Flathead or into the Roadster or projects for the future. This is fun. This isn't that expensive. I think this whole thing probably costs about, oh, the driver actually kind of threw the budget out. It was probably about $330 to do this whole thing. But get creative. Go home, flick through, find an inspiring photo that you really like, and make something cool like this. Make your own little light box. And it doesn't even necessarily need to go in the shop or in the garage. Like, I'd be convincing my partner Casey to be putting this in our house. I think it would look ridiculously cool in the living room. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I'm pretty gobsmacked about how cool it looks. These slightly annoy me. I can just see them, and when you stand back even more, you can actually notice them. But what a wickedly cool 34 5-window coupe, heavily chopped. It's got the little coupe, the rubber ocky straps holding the chains on. And he's just obviously having the time of his life, cutting up in a bunch of snow with a bunch of friends with cool, badass hot rods. What more could you ask for? Hopefully you guys enjoyed that video. I'm gonna be doing a lot more of this stuff with our new workshop. I got some neat ones coming over. I think I've mentioned that big 17-foot great white shark, potentially a 19-foot long belly tank that's probably going to be hung up before it will actually be built into a belly tanker. We got the motor over there, got some wheels, we got some parts. So, you know, a lot of cool things, a lot of excitement coming up. So, and again, you guys haven't really seen it, the lights are up, but Ben's car's got new wheels on it and it looks really good. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, hit notifications, and we'll see you next week on another episode of Bennett's Customs. Thank you very much for all your support as well. Really appreciate it. All the positive comments, all the good feedback. I say it a lot. I hope I don't sound like a broken record, but it just makes doing this content for this channel so much more enjoyable, knowing that we have the backing from you guys that are enjoying everything that we're doing. And you guys are coming up with ideas for us as well, which is really cool. We're getting lots of submissions still for stuff that you guys are creating at home or in your workshops, and please continue to do that. It is amazing. We will put the link in the bio below where to submit those. And yeah, get out there, get creative, use those dirty hands, and make something cool.